Welcome and thank you for joining us on Community Connection. I'm Tracey Christensen. Today I'm visiting with Maureen Smith from the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers. Maureen, I think anyone who's visited one of your marvelous museums like the one at the top of Main Street in Salt Lake knows that the work of the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers is great in preserving the history of our community. But tell me, how many other museums are there in Utah and other places?
Well, Salt Lake Museum at the top of Main Street, as you mentioned, is our main office, and that's where we have our international headquarters. But we have about 85 small satellite museums throughout the state.
Wow.
And then beyond the state of Utah, we have a few more, a total of around 114. And these
amazing.
are museums or collections that we have on display.
So who maintains all of these facilities, and tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see there if we were taking a little summer trip?
Well, what you would see there would be items that were owned, used by, or made by the pioneers that came and settled into not just the state of Utah, but the state of Deseret. And that was the parameters that Brigham Young had anticipated to be the state. And of course, he wanted it to be called State of Deseret.
Yes.
And so that took in, which would have been a larger state than the state of Texas if it had gone through. But they kept whittling at it and cutting it down till we got to the parameters of the current state of Utah. Mm-hmm.
So what's one of your favorite artifacts in I'm sure, I don't know how you could pick, but tell us about something that's really special to you in
well,
those museums.
There are so many favorites. One that is most often asked for to see is the wagon that Brigham Young came into the valley in.
Oh.
And you would never imagine what it looked. I mean, it is a sad looking wagon because it was used extensively after he came, you know. They didn't immediately put it into,
just set it aside,
into a museum. But another one of the things that is probably most remembered by the children that come through is the two-headed lamb. And 40 years later, people will say, "Do you still have?" And so that's one that they always look for.
I can hear my little boys thinking that would be pretty great. What an awesome thing to do, you know, for a family activity, especially with our economy how it is and gas prices. We have some pretty remarkable things to see close to us.
The price is workable too.
Is it free to go in the museum?
It is free. It is free. All of our museums are free.
Great.
And so they're maintained only by donation. All of us that work there and docent there or work in the organization, our time is free too. So when we're elected to a position like I have, we are elected to donate our time, to donate the rest of our lives to it. And so it's kind of a self-appointed mission to take care of this.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You obviously know a lot and you've spent a lot of time. Why do you feel like it's so important to preserve this history and to spend all the time that you do?
Well, I think we're finding more and more all the time that you don't know who you are unless you know from where you came. And so your history, the history of the people that came before you, makes a big difference into who you are yourself. And so this history is very important to a community as well as to an individual.
Thank you. Thanks for all the work that you do to preserve that. It's exciting to learn more about the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers, and if you'd like to visit one of their museums throughout the state of Utah or outside of Utah, you can log on to our website at KBYU11.org and click on the Community tab. There you can find information on the activities and programs available through the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers. We're glad you were with us, and we hope to see you next time. Thanks.